Good evening, everyone. Today's our guest is very honorable and respectable personality of India, who served as a judge of Supreme Court of India, and he was a Chief Justice of Delhi and Madras High Court. He also was a chairman of Press Council of India, Mr. Markandey Katju. Here I would like to heartily welcome Justice Markandey Katju to our group to deliver a speech about freedom of media. What is your views on freedom of media?
Freedom of media, okay.
Yeah.
Now, see, freedom of media can be a good thing, it can also be a bad thing. Because you must first understand that freedom itself is not an end. It can only be a means to an end. The end has to be raising the standard of living of the people, that is giving people better lives, decent lives. That has to be the end. So if the freedom helps attain that end, then it should be supported. But supposing the freedom is used to spread hatred, communal hatred, should it be allowed? Or supposing freedom is used to speak lies, for example, about Tablighi Jamaat, Indian media spoke a lot of lies. The truth is that, which I made inquiries and I found that these Tablighi Jamaat people are people of high character. They will never do these things attributed to them, that they were spitting and they were misbehaving with nurses and beating up people and defecating and all this nonsense, throwing urine bottles, all this falsehood was spoken against them on the Indian media. Should that freedom be allowed? So that should not be allowed. So what I'm saying is that freedom itself is not an end. I'm not a supporter of freedom as an end in itself. I will only support it if it helps the people to get better lives, more decent lives. So freedom of speech can be it can be both good or bad. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So I don't support freedom automatically in every situation. If it is used, in fact, a large section of Indian media, particularly the Indian TV, has become very, communal. It spreads religious hatred, particularly against Muslims and all that. So how can one support that kind of freedom? Many TV channels, look at the way they have been behaving, spreading communal hatred, polarizing people. So that freedom should not be permitted. And I don't support every kind of freedom.
Sir, my second question. So many medias and journalists are supporting particular political parties in India. Can these media or journalists have their own politics? Is this a media ethics? If a media wear political uniform, how the fact will reach to the people?
Not just Republic TV, my other TV channels also are behaving like that. And moreover, there's another aspect. See, the media often diverts attention of the people from the real problems of the people, which are poverty, unemployment, healthcare, malnourishment. These are the real problems of the people. But the media often diverts attention of people to lives of film stars and cricket and astrology and fashion parade, all this petty politics. So this is deliberately diverting attention of people from the real problems to non-issues, from real issues to non-issues. This is the mischief which our media does. Not everyone, but a large section of our media does this mischief of diverting attention from the real issues to the trivial issues or non-issues. So that also must be stopped. When I was chairman of Press Council, I said that media people who do wrong things, they should be punished. They should either fined or sent to jail. So a lot of media people, raised a hue and cry, oh, Justice Katju is against media freedom and he wants to he wants to suppress media. I said, look, I want the power to punish, not in me as chairman, but in the press council, which consists of 28 members, of which 20 are from the press. And those 20 are democratically elected by the press bodies. And decisions are taken by majority vote. See, I said everybody is accountable in a democracy. As I was a lawyer for 20 years. If I committed professional misconduct, the bar council could debar me. Similarly, a doctor who does medical misconduct, the medical council can debar him. If a judge takes bribe, the parliament can impeach him. So every activity has to be regulated. But media does not want any regulation. I said, why everybody is regulated? Why should media also not be regulated? And you see, I am not in favor of control. I am in favor of regulation. The difference between the two is that in control there is no freedom. But in regulation there is freedom, but it is subject to reasonable restrictions in the public interest. See, in a democracy, everybody has to be accountable. But media says, no, we should not be accountable. We should not be regulated. They say we will practice self-regulation. I said, what is this self-regulation? Is no regulation. Because if you want then let everybody self-regulate. Why should there be a law against murder and rape and robbery? Let everybody self-regulate. Let there be no laws. The very fact that laws are needed means that in some cases there has to be punishment. And media people should also be punished if they do wrong things. So freedom does not mean that you are unaccountable. I said you people should also be accountable. But you say no, we should not be accountable. There should be no regulation on media. We will practice self-regulation. This is what they say.
Sir, my question number 3. How you differentiate Indian media with the foreign medias?
See, Indian media has become very irresponsible. I'm not saying 100%, but 80-90% of them have become very irresponsible. Many of them are like the spokesman of the government. Many of them spread communal hatred, religious hatred, and by insinuation they target Muslims. So Indian media has become very irresponsible. Foreign media, I don't know much. I know there are in America, CNN channel often speaks against President Trump, although Fox News speaks in favor of President Trump. So there are different channels taking different lines, but Indian media has gone totally haywire, large section of it. So I'm not in favor of giving much freedom to these people, to Indian media.
Sir, why don't Indian government take any such initiatives to control or regulate the Indian medias?
I told you when I was chairman of press council, after I retired as Supreme Court judge, then I met the Prime Minister, Mr. Manmohan Singh, and I said, sir, please make a law for regulating the media and for punishing those media people who do wrong things. And punishment should not be done by just one person, that is Justice Katju. It should be done by the majority of the press council, which consists of 28 members, out of which 20 are from the press. So it will be the media people who will be punishing the media people. It will be a judgment of your peers. Like in the bar council, the bar council members are lawyers who have been elected, and they punish other lawyers who have committed professional misconduct. So I said, let there be some regulation of the Indian media. But there was such a hue and cry and opposition, and the government of Manmohan Singh was a very weak government, so they did nothing.
Sir, do you agree that most of the media channels are funded by a different political groups?
Some of them are. Some of them definitely are. And others are owned by big corporates. not politicians, but big corporates who have some links with politicians.
Over a coverage on Delhi riots, INB ministry suspended two channels in Kerala for 48 hours as it questioned RSS and alleged Delhi police inaction. What's your view on it?
Yes, if I agree, if hatred and false news is spread, it should be stopped.
According to you, what all steps are Indian government should take to control or regulate Indian medias?
I've already told you the a law should be made by the Indian Parliament, uh, empowering the press council, which should be renamed the media council, because the TV channel should also be brought into the press council. And the law should be providing for punishment for those media people or media channels or media houses who do wrong things. But punishment should not be by the government nor by any particular individual. It should be by the majority of the media council. Presently, the Press Council of India only deals with press, not with TV. So when I went to Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, when I was Chairman Press Council, I gave him a letter. I said, Mr. Prime Minister, please bring a bill in Parliament to do two things. Number one, bring TV also into the Press Council and rename it as Media Council. At present, there are 28 members of the Press Council, of which 20 are from the press, who are democratically elected. 6 owners, 6 editors, and 7 working journalists, and 1 representative of a news agency. So 20 out of 28 are from the press. Then there are 5 members of parliament and 1 each from different bodies. So vast majority of members of press council are press people. And if you bring 20 TV people also, then they will also be there. And the punishment should be imposed by the media council, by majority vote.
Thanks a lot, sir. It was very good session on the topic of freedom of media. Thanks a lot for spending your valuable time with us.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.